So, Minister, first of all, I would like to start by hearing your opinion about the current state of security in the Baltic region. What are the biggest threats to security in the region in the geopolitical context? Minister?
So, good morning, and thank you very much for inviting. I would like to start actually from initially saying and just contributing to the discussion what we had before, that Lithuania last year fully achieved the energy independence, and right now there is no ties with Russia energy resources, and this was a big deal, and it was a long road to reach this independence by doing the work which was explained by the Vice Minister. I think that this was one of a tool which we took from Russia to affect us and our security. So we see the energy security from the very beginning, from the gaining the independence, as one of the highest priority. And secondly, I think that when we talk about energy security, we should understand that this part is very closely related with the defense readiness of the state. So Lithuania, Poland, we understand that the holistic preparation of the state, the readiness and being able to cope with the crises and problem very much dependent not just only on how we are preparing our militaries, our armed forces, but it's very much also crucial how much we are resilient, resistant, and ready to supply them with the various of the vital function of the states, and one of them is very crucial, is energy gas, energy fuel, which is required for the jets, for the allies, for our citizens, for the businesses, for the continuation of the survival of the state. So, so in this regard, this is my second time I'm here. Very glad that I have a chance from the defense point of view, just also to stress how much the energy sector is important and how much we're also seeking the interconnection and links with the energy sector players, just to ensure that those military needs from the energy sector is very clear. And I would say that it's not always on the table. Not always we knew, what is demand from the military when we talk about the different types of energy sources. The same probably we can say, what is the energy requirements are overall from the state in the state of emergency, for what kind of the reserve or what kind of the infrastructure we have to be ready. It was a good conclusion of the discussion before about the diversification and example of the Ukraine. And I think that we are actually not the first year in the moment, especially when we talk about the overall security of our countries, that this build-up of the defensive and security resilience of the state, not in the military domain, but also in the energy domain, is very important and on the time, and we have to combine those efforts very closely. Coming back to your question, I would say that we fully understand that even the last year, this year, the dynamics in the geopolitical context and the war in the Ukraine, and continuation of this war, and there was like no very clear pathway how it will be resolved in the near future, and more geopolitical dilemmas all around the globe we are facing. But when we talk about our region, probably we very clearly understand. This was very clearly said recently, the cyber huge attack prevention on your energy sector, which was the sabotage attack on the railway, and many others, a violation of the airspace. So I would say that from the gray or hybrid situations what we're facing in the last 2-3 years, I think that we are evolving into this phase zero kinetic operations, or I would say the pre-war phase, when the Russian actually is combining various of the tools to achieve their goals. First of all, just to check how our defense is ready, from the air defense, from the reaction, from the procedural side, And they're testing this always, our Baltic air policing is in the air almost every day. On the cyber domain, we have many incidents. There is, interruptions on the electronic warfare, jamming our airspace and triggering the civil aviation. There's so many things, which is right now is more than just hybrid activities, but is a test of our defensiveness. And second one is a test of our critical infrastructure and our vital functions of the state for survivability. So testing the Baltic Sea underwater cables, connectivities, is to see how we react and how we fast can restore it. And attacking the critical infrastructure from the various of the domains, sabotaging, rain metal, DHL activities. So we can, name it, many of them, which we faced in the last couple of years. It's not just Lithuania or Poland. This is also in Latvia and Estonia, in Germany, in other European countries. So I think that we see many of examples of those synchronized escalations, and especially when we talk about this pre-war situation, we have a clear understanding that Russia is living in the wartime regime by increasing the industry, by allocating the finances, by allocating the industries just to work for this. And we talk already a couple of years how much we can switch our mindset from this very peacetime to the wartime mentality. And I think that we're doing great in Poland, we're doing great in Lithuania, and I think that we are the example of the region. And I think that this show how much we understand the behavior of the Russia, because they want to to break the legal, the political system, to affect Article 5, NATO, our region. There was always the targets of our nation the same. So I will close on the threat and geopolitical situation, not diving into the defense aspects.
Thank you very much, Minister. Mr. Zalewski, your point of view on the current state of security in the Baltic region?
Thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much for invitation for this conference and for organizing it. It's really great that we can discuss the key issues of our interests, economic interest, security interest together. Poland, Lithuania, we are closest neighbors, closest partners, and we feel responsibility for the region. That is the key point. I can only subscribe to what Minister Godliauskas said. So I would just try a little bit to develop this picture. Definitely, Baltic Sea is right now the place which concentrates hybrid activities of Russia, and all of these aspects were presented by my predecessor. It means that in the eyes of Kremlin, Baltic Sea is a key place just beside Ukraine. It is absolutely the key place of interest of Russia, and the only thing we can expect is further escalation. So we are prepared for further escalation. That is absolutely crucial, and we are preparing for further escalation, and we have to understand that that we will face. Baltic Sea is important, especially for Poland, and what we observed in recent years is just the shift of, let's say, importance in energy area from the south of Poland to the north of Poland. So here in the north we have LNG terminal. We will have floating regasification terminal in the Gulf of Gdańsk. We are developing the offshore wind energy. So it becomes important for Poland, not only from, let's say, economic point of view as a main route of trade, or from military mobility point of view as a route of support military support for Poland and for Baltic states, but it is also extremely important from the point of view of energy. Therefore, we are developing our capabilities to protect it. We are developing our navy. But coming to the geopolitical assessment, we understand that the key issue is increasing cooperation within NATO, and that is a very positive factor that Sweden and Finland joined NATO. We understand that this cooperation, especially between Poland, Finland, and Sweden, is crucial for the Baltic states, including Lithuania.
It has changed the security in the Baltic Sea, this
it
membership?
Has improved, it has radically improved security in the Baltic Sea because we've got the partners military capable to jointly react for different violations from the Russian side.
And in a certain sense, the Baltic Sea has become a NATO lake, yeah? Can we say so already?
I never use this. I never use this term.
Yeah.
Because we have huge Baltic Fleet, Russian Baltic Fleet there. We have Königsberg Oblast. We have Petersburg, and we have also legitimated Russian interests there. It's a trade route for Petersburg and for Königsberg. What we are afraid of is that this area is becoming not the place for peaceful, let's say, use, but it becomes the place of coercion. And the tool on the Russian side is just this different kind of hybrid attacks.
Mm-hmm. When speaking about the protection of critical infrastructure, how can we effectively monitor thousands of kilometers of subsea cables, pipelines against, as you already mentioned, unknown actors, sabotage, the hybrid attacks?
Yeah. First of all, probably there is nations of the Baltic Sea, which everyone understands that they have to protect those energy or communication resources. And I think that the glue, which actually last year kind of combined this protection or the security or the defense effort, was NATO by employing the Baltic Sentry, the UK by also introducing the joint expeditionary forces elements in the Baltic Sea. Each nation individually applied their own security measures by protecting the territorial seas and collaborating on this NATO platform by acting. And right now I'd say that last year we established those algorithms. We have very clear right now digital picture of the Baltic Sea, of the movement of the vessels. But anyway, recently we had a couple of incidents in Latvia, near the Estonia and Finland, where the cable lines were affected by the shadow fleet of the Russia. So first thing is the NATO. The second one is what we are doing actually with our, and the last one is very critical, that those businesses or governmental companies who is actually working on or taking care on those critical infrastructure elements has to work very closely with the defense or structures and the militaries. And we had a good examples how actually we together, our naval forces together with the our gas providers actually installed some acquisition or the undersea monitoring sensor system. So this collaboration is required, and is not, when we talk about the protecting the critical infrastructure, is not just about probably the Baltic Sea and overall. We have many of very critical and vital energy objects and crosses on the land, which also has to be protected. And this is the combination of it. And I would say that from the critical infrastructure perspective, there is a couple of things is very important. First one is how much we actually are preparing those critical infrastructure owners to be ready and to reflect the threat situations. So I think that the plans, how they are becoming the integral part of the overall defensive system is very important. The plan to understand how much they are protecting not just the supply chain, but also how they're protecting the infrastructure by itself, by the implying those security measures from the air drone threat, by implying the security measures which is actually taking care on the cyber, OT, the SCADA threats, and many other security measures which has to be reconsidered right now in order just to understand that one of the purpose of our adversaries is to exploit those vulnerabilities of the critical infrastructure and find those weak places. And the best example is Ukraine. We see how much the actually energy sector is affected. Why? Because it gives the biggest effect, not just on the industry, economy, not on just on the military, but it gives the most important effect on the society, on people.
We can learn from this Ukrainians' experience a lot.
So yeah, overall, I would say that the protection of critical infrastructure, combination with the military, doing the organizationally or from the company side, some work is very important. And I think that the legal framework from the national perspective is also very important. How we are protecting our energy sector, from those threats which is coming from Russia, from China, how we are allowing them to, go or be inside this sector. And this is very important. We have many laws introduced where we try to screen all the, critical sector companies, especially when they are participating in developed in the huge programs, through the security lenses, what kind of companies are participating in those activities, and in this, I think, a measure is very important.
Thank you. Would you like to add, Mr. Zaleski, something?
Well, the basic protection of critical infrastructure, including energy infrastructure, according to Polish law, rests in the hands of the operator, business operator. But we understand that it is not enough. And we understand that the right protection of maritime critical infrastructure requires integration of military, civilian, technological, and regulatory measures. And we cooperate closely with operators in just aimed at protecting it. We have changed the law quite recently. Fortunately, Mr. President has signed the bill.
The Safe Baltic Act, yeah?
Exactly.
Just before Christmas. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have proceeded in the parliament, but just in last days it was accepted by the president. So we have improved the ability for Polish armed forces, for border guard, for police to protect critical infrastructure also outside our territorial waters, enabling the commanders of vessels or enabling our air defense to actively protect this infrastructure and without just shortening this this line of comment which is required in the peacetime normally. Then it's also important to remember that just protection of this energy connections, telecom connections require cooperation of all states around the Baltic Sea, and the Baltic Century is very key, is absolutely crucial to integrate our forces just to protect the infrastructure. And last but not least, we are investing in our navy capabilities. We are developing Miecznik vessel, frigate vessel program,
and the submarines.
And the submarines. We have decided to cooperate with Sweden in purchasing 3 very, very modern submarines, which capabilities will also regard surveillance. So it will improve our monitoring capabilities.
Minister, for our Polish audience, could you tell us a little bit more about the expenditures in the defense sector, Lithuanians' expenditures, how it has changed the last years, and what are the main investments in the military sector in the context of security in the Baltic region?
I think that the context changed drastically, and we had this dynamic of allocations or the budgeting of the defense since 21-20. And this year we had a record budget approved by our parliament. Is a 5.38% of our GDP allocated for the national defense. And there is a couple of priorities what we are trying to achieve. First of all, of course, is the military capabilities, which is required for us together with the NATO to defend our region. So we are building the huge capability, which is named our National Infantry Division, with all the enablers and etc. The second one is a huge also attention on how much we also providing the space and possibilities for our coalition and NATO members to be present in Lithuania. So it's not new, but till the end of the 27, we have to have a facilitation of German brigade infrastructure in Lithuania. So at the end of the 27, we will have the German brigade present in Lithuania. And there is also the last, which I would like to stress, is approaching the total defense, or the holistic or comprehensive or overall defense, how we name it, which mean, and what I am talking is not just the military part is very important. We understand that if we will take energy part from this, it will significantly degrade the military capability. And that's why this is very important, that all those other links as energy, health, transportation system, they work properly and they support military effort. And additionally, I think that which is what we will face in the near future when we talk about the NATO regional plans and preparation of each our nation is the military operation requirements. So till the end of this year, each nation will have to prepare and to do their homework in this holistic preparation about our ports, about our roads, about our energy system preparation, how much of the stocks each nation has to prepare. So this will be not just a defense investment, but it will require the government approach, how they actually building the resilient ecosystem in all sectors.
As our time is up, as I see, so just let's make a short summary. What are Poland's, Lithuanians' key challenges and long-term goals concerning security and defense in the region, in your opinion? Minister?
First of all, it's fulfilling the requirements of NATO operational plans. That is the basic responsibility of each NATO country, and our plan for our program for modernizing our armed forces just is focused on that. And that is a basic requirement. Then it's extremely important to close in cooperation within the Baltic region, because we believe that the threat there, that is what the minister said in the very beginning, is more connected to the hybrid kind of activities than the war as we know. And we believe that there could be some hybrid activities which would have this kind of importance and this kind of threat that could be compared to a war. That is something what we saw in Ukraine, for example. So we have to draw the lessons, and we have to prepare ourselves, and we have to be ready. We have to coordinate our politics. We have to cooperate our military activities. We have to develop common capabilities. We have to train together more, to exercise. And we believe that that is the time, the real time, for closing our very practical cooperation within NATO, within Baltic Century activities, and we have all the instruments to do it. That is what is required.
Solidarity and cooperation seems to be crucial.
Yeah, I just maybe 3 words. Time is a challenging factor. This is very much related, how much and how fast we can actually build and come up with those readiness requirement each our nation has to maintain. We're talking about the very near future, 2, 3, 4 years, it will depend. Integration, I see that this is a challenge when we want to combine the military close cooperation with all the other sectors, what I mentioned before. And lastly is the cohesion of all our coalition members and understanding our values and goals. Thank you.
Minister, thank you for your time, for this conversation and for being with us. Dziękuję bardzo.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Bardzo dziękujemy panom ministrom, bardzo dziękuję też i Agacie za to poprowadzenie.